I'm not saying go play like, old school heavy metal Megadeth or I don't know, Guar, some crazy shit, but something that at least you believe in.
Did you just pull Guar out?
Guar.
Restaurant punk Guar.
I think that was their pops. I think I was talking about their pops. Restaurant punk, what's up?
Restaurant
Punk.
Restaurant punk.
Punk.
Right.
Punk.
Can we
Loosen up.
redo
What?
that?
Loosen up. Redo it.
I didn't like
Redo
it.
what? You weren't feeling it?
No. Ready?
It's all on camera.
5, 6, 7, 8. Restaurant punk.
You want to be me? Just
No.
get loud and just punk. Restaurant punk. They keep telling me not to yell on the microphone. Is that too loud? Fact check. You guys good? Yeah. All right. Cool.
A lot of fact checks.
What's going on, guys?
Hello.
What are you doing? What's going on?
Welcome.
You all right?
We're great.
You rubbing your hands. What do you got? You got something? You thinking about something?
Yeah, so I mean, you go into a restaurant and there's obviously music playing. Well, there should be anyway, right? So, and I know you have opinions about this, especially music and atmosphere and how everything works together. Should you be making your own playlist for your restaurant, or should you just have some program spit it out for you, or do you just like throw it at somebody and let them pick the music that you're going to play?
Are you asking me or telling me? You're asking me my opinion?
Yeah.
Anybody that knows me from a can of paint,
Yeah.
if your favorite color is mediocre, then go ahead and use your Spotify playlist. Or, just,
If your favorite color is mediocre, can we put that on a t-shirt? Someone write that down.
that's one of my favorite sayings. Yeah, absolutely.
I like that one.
Yeah. What's your favorite color? Green. No, so it's mediocre. No, make your own playlist, man.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Unless you are insecure in your musical choices and you're worried about what everybody else is going to think, you know what? A restaurant should be you. It should be your home. Go ahead.
You said insecure. On the flip side, ignorant. Like some people just didn't grow up with like musical taste in their home. So like you might be a great chef, but I don't know, you're not musically inclined, I guess.
Does musical inclination have anything to do with the playlist that you're making for your guests?
Yeah, like if you didn't grow up like exploring music, then I feel like you're ignorant. Like you don't know what other people are gonna like. You don't even know what you like.
Right, like you didn't have the musical vocabulary to back up.
Like I
Right.
grew up in a musical household, right?
Let me ask you a question. Define growing up in a musical household.
I grew up with a musician as a father, and all of my aunts, uncles, people in my life, like we grew up going to multiple different concerts. Like we've had such a wide range of music in my house, from like rock and roll to Motown to also being able to explore like pop and I don't want to say like indie and all these other genres. Like my parents have always exposed me to so many different genres of music, as well as I've worked in the music industry to where like I was exposed by other people's cultures and their likes and dislikes. And I don't know, I feel like not many people are, I don't know, they just listen to what's on the radio. They
Nick,
listen to the
you know what I'm
Billboard.
hearing coming out of Noelle's mouth right now? That she can make a better playlist than I can. That's all I heard.
What?
That is all that I just heard.
What?
Is it just me or am I imagining it?
No, you said
She was
people
staring
are...
straight at me the whole time. She didn't look at you
You
once.
asked me a question.
Yeah, but
I like eye contact.
this is what I heard. You can make a better musical playlist than I can.
I don't believe
Challenge accepted.
Shit.
How did I end up with this challenge?
What is happening?
I grew up in a musical household, Greek music. Does that work? I don't know. But are you making a playlist for the guests in your restaurant? I bring this up because Noelle and I have a history when it comes to musical playlists. And she's smiling right now. And she's like, oh, that's right. You want to get into that? Why you should make your own playlist?
Also, I did make that playlist.
Which one?
The one that you wanted.
Yeah, it kind of did.
I sat for 6.5 hours putting that playlist together. I just listened to it so many fucking times that I was like, you know what? I don't know if this fits the vibe. I've listened to it way too many times before we even opened, right? So I would be there until like 1 o'clock in the morning, sanding the floors like a maniac and staining them. And I listened to this playlist to see if it fit the vibe of the space. That being said, nobody was in the space, right? So it was just me listening to the same songs over and over and over, not shuffled, just same playlist over and over and over.
Right.
I got to a point where we opened. I was like, is this really what I want for here?
Right.
So when we first opened, I did like a lot of more like Louis Gainsbourg, actually. He was a guest on here. He created a playlist randomly out of nowhere and sent it to Peter and was like, here's a playlist that, you know, might fit Petunia's vibe. And it was like lo-fi hip hop beats.
Okay.
And I very much enjoy lo-fi beats because it's very calming to me. I actually meditate to it a lot.
It was horrible.
But
Sorry,
it
go
was
ahead.
more on like the hip hop scale. So like I had a lot more like instrumentals and
Noelle,
stuff
it was
to it.
horrible. Just cut the shit. It was horrible.
And for like 1 week we had it on.
It was depressing.
And it was like smooth vibe-ish,
was
but
horrible.
it wasn't, it's still, and I agree, it did not fit. Like it cooled down the tempo
Right.
of the restaurant.
Right.
And one night Yianni was in the back of my ear, was like, put on the playlist, put on the playlist, put on the playlist, which was my original playlist.
Is
And
that what plays now?
yeah,
Is that the one?
yeah. The Petunia playlist. It's funny. If you go on our tablet, it says
Right.
Petunia 2.0, Petunia 3.0. Like
Right.
I made multiple playlists.
Yeah, sure.
Petunia, that was my number one, the one that I made to begin with. That night, 4 people. Who is this? What is this playlist? Is this on Spotify? Did you make this?
Yeah.
Everybody, and still to this day, it's actually funny. People either love it or hate it.
Mhm.
We've had people leave us notes like, food was phenomenal. We love you guys. Everything's great. Change this playlist.
Music was horrible.
Or like if I wanted to sit down and listen to theater music, I would go to like a theater. I don't know, but people have like
What-
bitched about
What's
it.
on it?
Very minimal. It's a postmodern jukebox.
Oh, okay.
But I was so nitpicky with that playlist because some of their songs have cursing in it. Obviously, I don't want there to be heavy cursing. Not heavy cursing. There was one that dropped a couple, and I'm like,
Right,
okay,
right,
this is
right,
a little aggressive. Some of them sound a little cheesier than others. Some of them are a little slower than others. So I really tried to like diversify the tempo to where it kind of like
For
roller
you or for your
coasters.
guests?
For my guests.
So I'm going to make a statement that for, again, anybody watching or listening that's even thinking of making their own playlist or using a Spotify pre-selected list, it's always easier when somebody tells you, hey, you should do this, and then you listen to them. But if it doesn't work, you can't turn around and blame them. You have to blame yourself. That's why I'm so strong on picking your own playlist and songs that you believe in. Listen, and
Yeah,
not I'm not saying go play like, old school heavy metal Megadeth or I don't know, Guar, some crazy shit, but something that at least you believe
Did you
in.
just pull Guar out?
Guar.
Restaurant punk Guar.
I think that was their pops. I think I was
Yeah,
talking
but
about
why
their
do you
pops.
me?
Yeah, no, it was at the house for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's
And he
up.
was questioning Michael, my son, shout out. He was questioning his girlfriend on musical taste.
Right.
And she said, I like heavy metal. And he said, Motorhead, Guar. And I'm like, did he just say Guar? And I'm like, yes, he did. Guar.
Yanni likes
It's
my dad
wild.
more than he likes me, which I fully accepted. A lot of people do. It's fine.
Did you say you fully accept if I like your dad more than you?
Yeah.
That's not true.
I know.
No, I like you more. Absolutely, of course.
I know. I
Um,
make playlists for like restaurants that don't even exist. I just am
I
always
love
like
that you
making
say
playlists.
that because,
I just
like,
always got like,
So when picking Postmodern
No
Jukebox,
shit.
right, it is for like the guests, but also because I think when I was working heavily in events in Austin, Postmodern Jukebox was one of the number one picks for like cocktail hours or dinners for weddings, right? Because it's music from every generation in a fun rendition of it. And so that's why it's like, I like it and I enjoy it and I'll listen to it. Now, did I enjoy listening to it in the same exact order every single day? No, it drove me nuts until I figured out how to shuffle on Alexa. Now it's more doable for me. Being in the industry for so long, like I saw how much it captivates everybody from my age group to your age group to people older or younger. Like it goes really all over the board. And it's fun watching people play trivia like while they listen to it. So
Okay,
there's so much
all right.
to it.
I like that.
Like if it was me, I would literally play like Rolling Stone, like make like a Rolling Stones radio kind of thing for Petunia. That's like genuinely what I envisioned for it in the beginning. Like I wanted some classic rock like in the background. And Peter was like, it's funny, Yianni always said he wanted a place with classic rock, but he said no. He told me I wasn't allowed.
Debatable. The best meal I've ever had in my life, just in case I haven't said it on a previous episode, was it's called Babbo in New York City. Mario Batali's first restaurant. And all I'm going to say is it was the best meal that I've had in my life. And he played the same 3 CDs over and over again. And one was AC/DC, one was REM, and I forget the third one. But this played in more of a fine dining atmosphere, which had never been heard before. And the one moment that I'll never forget is after I finished this perfect meal, the server, classy, said, would you like dessert? And I said, I would not. And he said, our cheesecake is legendary. And I said, I will have it. And as a cheesecake, perfect execution. That's all you had to say. He didn't have to sell me on anything.
Yeah.
He just said, our cheesecake is legendary. And I'm like, done. At that moment, just like right on cue, the cheesecake comes, I take a scoop, and right as it goes in my mouth, I hear the bridge to Thunderstruck. And I'm like, as it's going in my mouth. And I'm like, that to me is perfection. So all I'm going to say is that they got a lot of slack for just playing the same 3 CDs over and over again. And you know what he said? You. This is what I like. This is my house. Didn't you have
the same
this
CD
is my
at
restaurant.
GP1?
Yes, I did.
Beachfront?
Yes, I did.
Over and
people
over
will
and
say,
over
can
again.
you
People
please
still
turn this
talk
shit
about
off?
it all the time.
And I'm like, no. Because you know what? Like you said, 5 out of 10 people are going to say, this sucks. The other 5 are going to say, this is great music. You can't please everybody. And that's why I want you to make your own playlist. I want you to make your own playlist. If 10 out of 10 people say this sucks, okay.
All right, let's reevaluate. Pivot.
One thing I noticed in the city in Athens is that even not only at bars or small intimate bars, but even cafes during the day have DJs that control the music. And I found out that they pay them $50 to come, play for 6 hours during their busy time, and just handle the music. I found that fascinating.
Oh, really?
Fascinating.
That's
yes,
pretty cool.
It is very cool. When you guys come, well, you were already there. A lot of those places, and you saw how many there are. They're everywhere. And they just have a DJ in the background. And I was like, that's pretty cool. Honestly. Now, the DJ's not saying, what's up, everybody? It's really calm. It's really cool. It's really intimate. And that, to me, I like it because that's the owner saying, you know what? They know better than I do.
Right.
And I'm not there yet. I'm getting there. I'm getting there to where I'll be a little out of touch and where I'll be like, oh, this music is good. And I'm like, no, it's not. But I still think you should do what you believe in. And if you just try and please the masses, we are in the hospitality industry.
You can't.
You cannot. You cannot, especially when it comes to food, because we all know that one guest can say, this is the best thing I've ever had. And the next one can say, this is the worst thing I've ever had. And I think it's the same thing with the music. I've had a struggle with the music at the restaurants for 22 years. You just can't please everybody. And my favorite is, if you don't turn this off, we're going to leave. And I'm like, have a great life. Really? You're okay if we leave? I'm like, are you not understanding what's happening here? Yeah. Do me a favor and get the out. Right. Yeah, enough.
Oh, yeah. Like the one woman, I have to say 1 out of 10 people don't like the music at Petunia, right? Like 1 out of 10, which is
90%.
That's 90%.
You're still a B+ student.
Yeah, I'm crushing it. This one woman on the back patio looked me dead in the eye after she yelled at me because the birds in the backyard were too loud. I can't control nature, right? And then she said, well, the least you can do is turn off this theater music before my ears start bleeding. And I looked at the 2 tables next to her because there was two tops right next to they were a 4 top. And they were looking at this woman mortified that she had said this to me. And I looked at the other tables. I said, are you guys enjoying yourself? And they all nodded their heads. I said, so I can't just please you. I'm here to please everybody in my restaurant. I do apologize. And the rest of her table started busting out laughing. They were like, she's being a bitch, whatever. And she even kind of laughed. I said, I'm sorry, is everybody else enjoying themselves? Yes. Okay, so you're going to have to just deal with the bleeding. And she just like completely shut up for the rest of the night. And I called her out. And that was the first time I think I ever really like clapped back at someone in Petunia as an owner. I
good
was
for
just
you.
like, and it was about the music.
Did it feel good?
It felt so good because like all these other people, like once I called her out, even her own table was like, yeah, you dumb bitch. And I was like, yeah, like everybody completely, and she laughed.
Look at the fire coming out of her. She let it out. She finally let the violence out. And look how excited she is now. And this is over the music. Right. So Noelle, please tell us how you really feel. Do you make your own playlist?
Yes.
Or do you? Yes.
Yes.
Do you think there are bar owners, restaurant owners, any type of owner that has music in their establishment? Because I'm going to assume when I go into certain clothing outlets, they have some great playlists.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? This is a chain. And I know that there isn't an owner back there making this playlist. And I know it's a Spotify playlist.
Well, I actually know somebody that used to work for a company that would specifically make playlists catered to like retail or restaurants or various industries. And that was like their full job. So you would go have a consultation with them, tell them like the vibe or like give them pictures of the place, tell them exactly like where you were leaning. And then they would build you out your like a playlist for you based on what it is that you gave them.
A couple of my DJs, for restaurants, they were paid to make a like 4 to 5 hour mix to where it's not just song after song. Like they're scratching and blending and mixing song into song into song.
How much you pay for a gig like that?
Well, no, they paid for like a playlist. Like they recorded it, they put it on Drive, and they gave it to them.
That's what I'm saying. Let's say Cara Restaurant Group wanted a playlist from these guys.
Yeah,
what do you got to pay for that?
I mean, I feel like they paid anywhere from like $300 to $500 for it.
For a 5 hour playlist, $300 to $500, but it's mixed.
It's mixed.
There's no pause in between.
There's no pausing.
That's
it's
great.
perfectly blended.
Right.
So it's like as if you have a DJ there and people are looking around like, damn, the DJ is crushing it, but you're not paying every single night $400 to $500 to have it because it's not Greece. It's not Greece. You can't pay someone $50 to play
Hold
for
on,
6
50
hours.
euro, which translates to $62. Come on.
Right. It's a little
I
different.
had DJs who wouldn't take anything less than $600 to play at a bar for 4 hours.
That's a little rough over there. I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, so for an owner here to pay, let's say $500 for a 5-hour playlist that sounds like you have a DJ in-house, as opposed to paying $500 3 nights in a row to have a DJ in your play. Like, you see,
What if you're an idiot non-restaurateur and let's say you are a doctor and you have supposedly done well with your life and you get to a point to where you have enough money that you could just relax, but you have this inside yearning that you know what I really want to do? You know what I really want to do? I know I want to open up a bar restaurant, right? Here's the problem. We're talking about playlists. We'll end on this. Most restaurateurs fail. Why? Because they have to hire a chef and the chef holds them hostage. Can we kind of put music in the same stratosphere as
I think so.
of controlling your own restaurant? In other words, what, you can't control your kitchen, you can't control your chef, you have no say in what you're doing. We famously seen it in the movies Burnt and what's the one with Bradley Cooper? That is Bradley Cooper. The other one with John Favreau, Chef.
Right.
To where the restaurant owners are idiots. They have no idea what they're doing in the kitchen. They say, listen, we pay you, shut the f up. This is the food that I want and do this. So you're held hostage by your chef. I only bring that up because we're talking about playlists. Like, at what point as an owner do you just say, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to pay somebody to do it. Right. And I think the owners that stop paying everybody to do shit that they can figure out on their own are more successful.
Yeah.
Did I just segue from a music playlist to that to a successful restaurateur? I did.
It comes into play. Absolutely.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, let's end on this note. If you could bring back smoking area in a restaurant, would you?
I'm gonna be the millennial at the table and say I would have a vaping section, but I would not have a cigarette section.
Vaping section.
That's genius.
Mm-hmm. Mark that down. He said I was a genius.
Vaping section.
No, edit this out. Sorry, go ahead. All right,
I would have a vaping section.
So
because
yes,
you can't smell
yes,
it.
no.
Yeah, a medium.
Yeah,
no.
you can smell the strawberry bullshit. That shit gives me the hives.
For like 30
I can't.
milliseconds, you can smell it.
Yeah,
it's just
I don't want to. All right, for sakes. Okay. Nick, yes or no?
You're going to have to say no.
No, I'm going to say yes. Yes.
Of course you are.
Bring it back. Smoking on planes. Bring it. Vaping on planes. How about vaping? I'll smoke the shit on a plane with a cocktail too.
Yeah.
It'd be so much better.
I mean, it's not like this.
Has nothing to do with the music playlist.
Shit. Yeah.
But it would be nice.
Yeah.
What do you think?
If I could vape on an airplane, yeah, that's cool.
You like that shit?
I'd do that, yeah.
All right, Restaurant Punk, we're out.
Out. Yanni was on a flight to Greece last year and he had a pouch, like dip. And I was like, you are foul. Like, you're dipping on the plane because you really can't control yourself.
What you got? What do you want?